Welcome back to Whipple's Welding Services. Hope you had a restful holiday. As promised, we're going to talk about some Mig Basics. We're going to talk about the parts of the machine, the gas that is used, and the voltage that is used on these machines right after this. Now we're going to get to some of the basic parts of the big machine. All right, move that out of the way. First and foremost, this is known as our nozzle, a contact tip, gas diffuser, and an insulator. We're going to talk about these parts just briefly. Okay, so basically, if we could look at it on a machine that's already set up, you can see that the nozzle holds everything in together. That might have been a blooper, but it's not gonna be. Anyway, the nozzle holds everything together. But if you look underneath that nozzle, this is the way everything goes in. You have a contact tip, which is first. These are known as like your wire pliers or welders helpers. These are instrumental in working with me. It helps you to cut the wire if these will work correctly. Yeah, they do. All right. So you can see this is our contact tip. Never make contact with the contact tip. The contact tip is only to make contact with the wire. Gas diffuser. And basically the reason why it's called a gas diffuser is because this is where the gas comes out of the bottle into the machine to here. You can look. And you see these little holes? Seeing these holes, that's where the gas actually comes out. And last but not least, you have your insulator. There's another part on the inside known as a liner that actually holds the wire. Okay, I can't get a good visual on it. Maybe do another video about that later on in the future. We're gonna go ahead and see about some basic beads right quick. So if ever, now sometimes whenever you're doing this with a different manufacturer, the parts will look different. All other parts do not always look the same. There are some times where the gas diffuser and the insulator are one piece. But in this case, with this Millimatic 252, we have our insulator. Our insulator is first. Then we have our gas diffuser. Contact tip. And last but not least, your nozzle. One thing about the nozzle, you want your nozzle to be clean like this before you start any welding. You don't want it to look like this. Looking like this can give you all types of defects within your weld. Another reason why these are a handy tool to have, it helps you clean all of that mess out of there. Spatter. Okay. Also, if they were hot, it helps you put it back on. Now, in my situation, I like to have, let's get a little up close and personal. I like to have the nozzle recessed. See if I get a better visual on that. As you can see, I like to have the contact tip, my bad, recessed inside. That way the wire won't burn back and mess up the electrode. All right, let's look at our machine for a second. If you look here, there's one big difference here. Now you have heat and you have wire. You have to find the median in between both of these. Today we're gonna be welding on a Millimatic 252. And this wire speed, this 205 actually means inches per minute, or IPM. So that means if you was to hold that trigger down for 1 minute, you would have approximately 145 inches of wire hanging out the other side of your gun. Look at gas for a second. You never used the regulator setup before? This valve shows you how much, well, this gauge shows you how much is actually going into the machine. This is how much is in the bottle itself once you cut on the bottle. This set screw, if you can watch, it turns up what's going into the machine, but that's going to be a little bit too much gas. I like to be about around 20 or 25. We'll learn about that once we start purging. And then you can always find out what type of gas you're using by this label. Right here. It's telling you that it's 75% argon, 25% carbon dioxide, and it is a non-flammable gas. Non-flammable. Now that we got everything set up correctly, I made a line straight across so I can see what I'm doing. Being that this is the MIG welding process, you do not have a striker arc like you do on stick. So in other words, you're not going to sit up here and just strike this wire against the plate. You're going to press the button and then you get an arc. Another thing I like to say when I'm doing MIG welding, I don't want the nozzle to be in front of me. I want the nozzle to be to the side so I can actually see which way I'm going and I can follow the line. If I can see the wire touching the plate, I know what I'm welding. All right, and we're going to show you what oscillation means. What oscillation means is going to be like a back and forth movement. Not no erratic back and forth, but just a small back and forth movement. Show you what I mean. Watch your eyes.
Bark and start the arc, keep it right between the lines. Let the puddle be the skill. You get better over time. The slower you go, the more it grows. Just stay focused on the size. You got training wheels if you follow both lines on either side. Feed the puddle, feed the puddle, feed the puddle, feed the puddle. Stacking dimes, I don't see a need to struggle. Don't need to struggle. Feed the puddle, feed the puddle, feed the puddle, feed the pool. The system working, travel angle help you too. They help you too. Feed the puddle, 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 feed the puddle.
Not the straightest, but you get the deal. You get the idea. MIG is a fast process. So what you want to do now, brush it, it creates no slag. You want to go right to the edge of that, see if you can get another bead. Same way we do with stick, point right at the toe line, run straight across. Easy money. Now, we're also going to show you what happens if you have too big of a standoff distance. And what that means is if you have your wire extended too far and you try to weld, watch your eyes. Too much of a standoff distance. Another thing that we can show you is what happens if you don't have any gas. Watch your eyes. porosity. All right, let's get an up close look at these beads. The first couple of beads, of course, they were not perfectly straight, but that is what a decent MIG bead could look like. Tied in nice. We look down here again, the second bead, you can see we had too much of a standoff distance. The wire was probably an inch long. You're not supposed to have it looking like that. It's not consistent. And last but not least, we have this defect known as porosity. You can see we started out pretty good here because we had gas coverage. But as we went along, you can tell that we were missing gas. Porosity is known as holes in the well. Okay, the cancer of a well. If you look right here at the end of that crater, you can tell that's pretty much what that well looks like all the way through. Okay? So these are the defects that we really don't want. This weld is decent. I mean, it could have been better, but hey, we're catching more on the advanced one. This week's video was a basic intro to MIG. Next week, we're gonna get more in depth talking about the rollers, the wire size, and we're also gonna do all 4 T-joints next week. 1F, 2F, 3F, and 4F in one video, all right? Will's Welding Services. If you like what we provide, like and subscribe to the channel. We get more videos for you in the future. Thanks.